Hi, I'm Leah, and I'm back with another basic beach breakdown where I give you all the info you need to know to be safe at the beach. In today's segment, I'm going to be teaching you about rip currents, what they are, how you can avoid getting caught in one, and what to do if you or someone else does. Though rip currents can be scary, the best thing to do is learn about them and understand how they work so we can help ourselves and others be safe. What are rip currents? So, what are rip currents anyway? Rip currents, or rips, are currents that run in channels away from the shore. It's almost like a river in the ocean. They usually happen between sandbars. Sandbars are shallow areas in the water where the sand forms a mound. Between sandbars, there are deeper ridges of sand, and because the water's deeper here, waves don't form. This makes it the best place for the water that was just pushed out by the waves to go back out into the ocean. Rip currents can also form near big structures in the water, like piers. Rip currents have three parts: the feeder zone, the neck, and the head. The feeder zone is where you'll enter the rip current. Water moves in from either side of the feeder zone to be taken back out into the ocean, so avoid swimming near a rip current. The neck is the longer, river-like portion of the rip. The water flows quickly in this part until you get to the head. The head is the end of the rip current. At this point, there's no more force pushing the water outwards away from the shore anymore, and the water from the neck of the rip just mixes back in with the rest of the ocean water. How to identify a rip. There are many different ways to identify a rip current. One signifier is that a rip will form in an area where there are often no waves. If you see sandy water beyond the water nearest the shore, that's another signifier of a rip current. Darker, deeper water, foamy water, fast-moving water, or water with lots of debris might mean that you've found a rip. Here are some examples. Not all of these signs will be present in a rip current, which makes them sometimes difficult to identify. The most likely sign of a rip is that you'll find little to no wave activity in a certain area. What to do if you find yourself stuck in a rip current. If you find yourself swimming in the ocean and, all of a sudden, you feel the water start to drag you inwards, you've likely found yourself in a rip current. Being caught in a rip current can be scary, but the most important thing to do is to stay calm. That might seem difficult to do at the moment, but you have to be able to pay attention to your surroundings and not waste your energy. The water of a rip current will not pull you under, so don't panic. The next most important thing to keep in mind is to not fight against the water. As the rip pushes you away from the shore, its current will be very strong, so trying to swim directly against it will not get you anywhere. That being said, step 1 for getting out of a rip is realizing you're in one and staying calm. Step 2 is to signal for help. Wave your arms and yell out to the people on the shore. Let those around you, like the lifeguards, know that you might need help in case you find it difficult to get yourself to safety. Step 3 is to look at the shore and find a landmark that you can find when you make your way back onto the land. Being in a rip can be scary and confusing, so it's important to have something you can look for to help you find your way back to your family and friends. At this point, you're ready to try to get yourself out of the rip. Getting out of the rip. When you try to get yourself out of a rip current, the best method is to swim parallel to the shore, but still keep yourself turned slightly in the direction the water's pulling you, like this. You want to do this so you won't be swimming against the current as you try to make your way out of it. Swimming in a direction that opposes the current too much will make it harder to swim out of a rip and will take more time and energy to do so. Start swimming with your body positioned mostly parallel to the beach until you don't feel the water pulling you backwards and you find yourself by waves. At this point, swim on a diagonal away from the rip current and towards the shore, which will look like how you were swimming before, but start swimming with your shoulders pointed towards the shore like this. By trying to swim out of a rip, you can either get yourself to safety or give lifeguards more time to come help you get out of the rip. With that being said, sometimes rip currents are very wide, and it may be hard to swim out of one on your own. If you're finding that you're struggling to escape the rip by swimming parallel to the shore, stop. You don't want to use up all your energy. At this point, you could try to float by treading water, commonly called doggy paddling, and let the rip current take you out to where it ends. Rip currents don't go on forever, and eventually, you'll find yourself at its head, or its stopping point. The rip might circulate back to the shore once you get to this point, so let the water push you back towards the shore, but swim diagonally away from it so you can create some distance between you and the rip current. Swim like that until a lifeguard comes to help you or you find your way back to shore. Knowing what to do when you get stuck in a rip current is so important for people to know when they go to the beach, and this knowledge has the power to save your life. What to do if someone else is caught in a rip? Now that you know how to identify and escape rip currents, what do you do if you see someone else get stuck in one? First things first, don't go into the water to help them yourself. Even though you might be able to get yourself out of danger while caught in a rip current, this doesn't mean you'll be able to properly get someone else out of a rip current by going into the water to help them. You'll be putting yourself in a lot of danger, and the chances of your rescue being successful are slim to none. Learning to do a water rescue takes a lot of training so that lifeguards don't put themselves or others in more danger than necessary. The first step you should take if you see someone caught in a rip current is to alert a lifeguard. Or, if there are no lifeguards present, call 911 to get someone to come provide help. Yell to the person in the water to stay calm and tell them help is on the way. The next thing you can do is try to give them directions in order to help them try to swim towards the shore and out of the rip, like I had described to you before. If you have any flotation devices you can throw out to the person who's caught in the rip, try to throw it out to them now. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, go check out my other videos on beach safety so you can learn everything you need to know to be safe at the beach. Go check out the Kahoots that are linked in the description of this video to test out your new safety skills. Until next time, stay safe.